Hey, I'm Obsessing Again, and today we're going to be looking at the greatest gaming heroine, Sadie Adler.
Why did I move here? I guess it was the weather.
Rockstar are renowned for having a complicated relationship when it comes to fleshing out their female characters. The studio most well known for the hit series Grand Theft Auto has the most dynamic assortment of main characters in their games, along with the strangers and freaks side missions that gamers love. But for every memorable Trevor,
bring me my coffee, I'm gonna cut your arm off. Oh, it's the same old.
Or CJ, the female characters have mostly taken a back seat.
Show CJ what's cracking.
Sadie Adler is quite the contrary.
Miss Adler, will you excuse us?
When you gonna let me come robbing with you, Dutch?
My lord, a few more like her, we could take over the whole world.
A few more like her, there wouldn't be much of a world left.
Yes, perhaps.
Red Dead Redemption's 2 setting is a time of society catching up with the outlaws, unruly vagabonds of a bygone era. We are seeing blemishes of modern America in places like Saint Denis, where the influence of the Industrial Revolution is shaping a contemporary style of living, especially compared to Dutch's gang. Most women of this era wouldn't have typically garnered respect and equality as a man. It wouldn't be for another 20 years for women to even legally vote in the United States. Though the suffragettes movement was in force, and the game does refer to this, Sadie's personality mirrors the rise of progression. When we first meet Sadie Adler, she isn't the archetypal damsel in distress.
Get away from me!
Oh, look what I found in the cellar! Wild thing, ain't ya?
She's feisty and defensive, ready to take on Arthur, Micah and Dutch. Losing her husband, she had been stripped of her humanity and was purely in survival mode when hiding in the cellar. As they escape the burning house, it acts as a metaphor for the life she knew of. Sadie's trajectory in life with her husband Jake would have been a farm life, working on their ranch and doing the day-to-day. She would have been an equal to her husband, which would have been progressive for its time. When Jake is murdered by the O'Driscolls, her bedrock and the life she knew of was quickly taken, and in that we see the beginning of the end for the farm girl. Her self-assurance and unflinching attitude makes her a commendable companion on missions, but someone who has more heart than any of the Dutch Van der Linde gang, including Arthur Morgan. Red Dead emphasises Sadie's struggles initially when she's integrated into the camp.
It just takes time, Miss Adler.
I wish they would have killed me too.
I know.
I wish it every goddamn day.
I know.
When the camp is singing in the evening, you will just find her in the background, not taking part. Sadie's self-assured farming background and independence makes her left out from the guys providing for the camp and the woman looking after the family and general upkeep. Traditional gender roles are automatically assigned, and her frustration of cutting vegetables is a far cry from the life she had with her partner.
I ain't chopping vegetables for a living.
Oh, I'm sorry, madam. Was there insufficient feathers in your pillow?
I ain't lazy, Mr. Morgan. I'll work, but not this.
Well, ain't cooking work?
It won't be until Arthur gives her the opportunity to accompany him into town to pick up some supplies and a spur of misfortune that her position in the camp elevates. A fight with the Lemoyne Raiders and defending Arthur would then be the start of Sadie Adler as we know her to be. The debate about women's empowerment in media representation has been rife. We've seen many games, films and TV try to either reboot existing franchises with an all-female cast or create characters on the basis of what feels like just ticking boxes.
Sorry, I'll let you. Next time.
For example, in Star Wars The Force Awakens, we are introduced to Rey. Her story follows Luke Skywalker's in a similar vein, but her skill set vastly eclipses his, and the majority of the main Star Wars characters. There is no rhyme or reason as to why really, and unlike our favourite heroes or heroines, she doesn't feel relatable. The 2010s saw the term Mary Sue in frequent debates about Hollywood storytelling. Though the ninth instalment would justify her ability, it felt forced. In the same franchise 40 years earlier, we meet a young Princess Leia.
A little short for a stormtrooper. Huh?
Sassy, self-assured and seen as a beacon of hope. An audience can warm to her brave valiantness in leading people through struggle. Gamers and moviegoers don't want characters to be replaced with women for the sake of diversity. They want well-crafted, independent characters, not just rehashes of existing ideas. Sadie has a voice, strengths and weaknesses that make her relatable. She is fallible. For every quippy remark and bullish bravado, we see her shortcomings, such as jeopardising missions and putting people's lives on the line. Her revenge engulfs her and makes her careless, blindsided at times.
You got that poor bastard killed for his troubles. I kinda liked him.
They got Combe, the government. They got Combe O'Driscoll. They're gonna hang him in Saint Denis.
When Sadie gets the opportunity to end her husband's killer, we see what avenging her husband means to her. It wasn't a victory. Though there was a big shootout, there was no dramatic, drawn-out way of death. She says,
They turned me into a monster, Arthur. But my memories of him, they still pure.
she can reconcile with her emotions and understands how empty she's feeling. With the knowledge we have of Arthur having a wife and son before the game, Arthur can understand Sadie's grief. The mutual respect of one another never branches into a physical relationship, just shared values and understood hardships. Arthur's tuberculosis forces him to reflect on his involvement in Dutch's gang, his pseudo-father who took him in, leading him down a path of violence and mercilessness. From his diagnosis, your low honour or high honour can dictate whether Arthur looks for a shot at redemption or go out in a triumphant blaze of dishonour. When he first meets Sadie, he says,
We're bad men. We ain't them. It's okay.
At this point in chapter 1 of the story, he recognises his outlaw style, but cannot comprehend that the O'Driscolls are too similar to his gang.
I was a married woman. You know what they did to me. And to my husband? You're the only one of these fools that I trust.
Sadie Adler
gotta do
isn't the
this.
first well-written female character in a video game. We've had iconic females like Lara Croft, Ellie from The Last of Us, Jill Valentine and many more, but it's certainly the best Rockstar has created. With GTA 6's Lucia coming to consoles in the future, Rockstar has a tall order to match with a character as beloved as our favourite bounty hunter.
Or what?
In conclusion, Sadie Adler's revenge, her defiance of societal norms and her journey towards empowerment stands as a testament to the changing roles and perceptions of women in the late 19th century of the United States. She embodies grit and determination to find her footing as a solo bounty hunter towards the end of the game. Her arc is symbolising a shift towards a more progressive society where women are beginning to challenge the status quo and assert their rights and autonomy. What sets her apart as an iconic character is her personal journey of struggle and being defenceless at the beginning of the game, becoming a valiant leader for all, to leading a self-reliant life towards the end.
You're good women. Good people. The best.
Nobody's taking nothing from me ever again.
Thank you for letting me obsess again.